Guten Tag, Jungs. If you are used to watching my video for the maths videos, there's just going to be a wee bit of German on here as well. And this is the first video that I'm going to do for my Year 10 German class. And here we're going to look at how we form the present tense. So it's all about verbs. So the present tense in German is something that we really have to learn well to be able to communicate in German. Sometimes it doesn't matter if we muck up grammar in languages, but being able to do a present tense of a verb is something that we really need to know how to do just to make ourselves understood well. I'm going to start here with one that we learned early on, which is haben, and then we're going to focus on ones that are completely regular in the present tense. So haben is a little bit funny, and it's one that we just have to memorize. Generally with German verbs, you can think of them as having two bits. So this is the verb to have, and the fancy grammar name for that is the infinitive, right? So to something means it's the infinitive of the verb. And we think of the hab part, so the bit before the en, is what we call our verb stem. And in most regular verbs, what we're going to do is we're going to take that stem and then we're going to whack an ending on the end of it. And haben is nearly regular, except it goes a little bit funny in two places. But before I get to looking at that, let's look at how we set up our verb tables. So we have two columns in German verbs when we're doing them. We always have the singular stuff over here and the plural over here. So ich is I, du is you, that's one person and familiar. And then this is er, es, or sie, so he, it, or she. Over here we've got the plural. So wir, we, er, you, but it's for two or more people and it's familiar. And then sie is they. This is in the middle because this could be either singular or plural, right? So this is the polite version of you. Right, so let's go and look at haben, and then we're going to work through a bunch of regular ones. You're going to work out what the verbs are, and then I'm going to go through them. And then at the end, there'll be about 10 sentences or phrases for you to translate from English into German. So haben goes like this. It's got ich habe, du hast, and this is where it's a bit funny, right? So there's no B in there, it's just du hast, and then er, es, sie, hat. So the orange ones are the slightly weird ones that don't fit our usual pattern. And then in the plural, it's all pretty straightforward, right? Wir haben, ihr habt, sie haben, and sie haben. Looking now at one that is completely regular, let's see how that's going to go. So this is the verb to come, kommen. The stem will just be kom, and then we're going to have endings. And the endings will go ich komme with an E, du kommst with an ST, er, es, sie kommt with a T, wir kommen, ihr kommt, sie kommen, and this one, sie kommen. So these endings are the way we form our German verbs. Komme, I for ich, kommst, st for du, kommt, kommen, kommt, kommen, kommen. Let's have a look at some of the other ones. Brauchen is to need, and I've written this one out for you. So you can see again, ich brauche, du brauchst, er, es, sie braucht, wir brauchen, ihr braucht, sie brauchen, sie brauchen. So I want you to pause the video and just try saying each of those out loud and check that you're getting the right endings. So that's to need. Now we're going to look at some words for hobbies because we'll be coming onto that topic soon. So the verb to paint is malen. It's a nice regular verb. So pause the video and try and write down the verb table in your book and then check it against what I've done. So the stem here is mal. So it's ich male, du malst, er, es, sie malt, wir malen, ihr malt, sie malen, and sie malen. Next one, to cook, kochen. The stem is koch. So we've got ich koche, Du kochst, kochst. Sie kocht. Wir kochen. Ihr kocht. Sie kochen. And sie kochen. I thought we'd add in playing chess and playing football before we do some practice. So if you want to say I play chess, the verb to play is spielen. Spiel is the stem, and then en is the infinitive ending. So to say I play chess, ich spiele Schach. Now just notice that when we write that very basic sentence, the verb is in the second position, and that's going to be something we come back to and talk about shortly. But in here, all I need you to do is to write out the verb endings with spielen. So is ich spiele, du spielst, sie spielt, wir spielen, spielt, sie spielen und sie spielen. And it's the same thing for playing football. If you want to say you play football, it will be du spielst Fußball. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is put up the 10 phrases that I want you to try and pause the video and do them without looking. First thing I'm going to do with each one is write the infinitive, and then I'll write the phrase. So the infinitive for paint is malen. It will be ich male. The infinitive for playing chess is Schach spielen. Wir spielen Schach. She plays football. The verb again will be spielen. So it's got a capital S just because it's at the start of a sentence, right? Sie spielt Fußball. Notice also, guys, that my nouns have got capital letters. So some of you are having trouble remembering that. It just looks really weird to a German speaker to have nouns with small letters. So try and remember that as you go through these. You cook. Now, there are 5 of you cooking, and it's familiar. So it's going to be ihr kocht. She is hungry. So in German we say, I have hunger. So Hunger haben. Sie hat Hunger. Right, the dog comes home. The verb will be kommen, and we know that the dog is der Hund. Der Hund, that's the first thing in the sentence. Kommt, second thing in the sentence. And then nach Hause, home. Right, so this is home when there is motion involved. So the dog is coming home, so it's moving from somewhere to the house. They paint. The verb again is malen. So the phrase is sie malen. And it's a capital S only because it's at the start of the sentence. We cook. I thought we'd had that. No, we've had you cook. Okay. Wir kochen. And then you need coffee. Polite. Always true. Sie brauchen Kaffee. Right, so it's brauchen because it's the polite form of you. And then we go home is wir gehen nach Hause. So there you go. Recommend that you write those 10 sentences out in your book if you were just doing them out loud with me. So you need to be writing heaps down so that you can start to make sense of it and remember it really easily. If you've got any videos that you want me to do on grammar points, just send me an email and I can get onto them in the next day or two. Thanks for watching.